Let me go.
Wake up, buyer payer people. It's a beautiful day. Go grab yourself another cup of joe and say hello to Jim and Michelle Rhodes on the Buy Here Pay Here morning show. Take it away, you two.
Good morning, everybody. So glad to have you all here. Look, we were making some minor last minute adjustments. So those of you guys on Success and Boardroom might not have heard the opening song, but it looks like we're on.
Looks like
we're
connected
live.
now. So, yeah. Michelle's over here doing her thing. We had some last minute technical snags, and she's just making it work.
Yeah, and Jared's already in here with us. Good morning, Jared. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic, guys. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Before we get started, we have a special guest really quick that we're just going to pop in. And I think that Tommy is probably going to want to. Hey, Tommy, nice to have you as your surprised guest this morning.
Good morning, everybody. That's like a last minute guest.
Yeah. So are you here to talk about the town hall?
There's just a little town hall coming up on Wednesday. I think hopefully everybody knows about it by now. I'm really excited. It's going to be an awesome event.
Yeah, no, it looks great.
Yeah, we're really looking forward to it. We've been seeing some of the ad spots come in too, and so even just the commercial breaks will be fun. It looks like it's going to be really great. So the whole thing is coming together quite nicely. So yeah, as Tommy said, we are heading to we're right now in Virginia. We're as soon as we're done with this, we're hopping in the car and driving up to Quakertown, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. So we'll be broadcasting live from there on Wednesday. I think you're right, Tommy. Most people know about it. If they don't know, they're going to know between now and Wednesday morning.
Yeah, they absolutely. They certainly will. So we're really excited to see you and to do this. This is a pilot event. This is the first ever of Buy Here Pay Here regional town hall
live stream,
and as well as the first time we're ever going to do live stream, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
I keep saying, Jared, what could possibly go wrong? Like what? I mean, you know, you're going to live broadcast from a dealership. I mean,
yeah.
Well,
so.
You know, it's it'll be fun. We're gonna have a good time. That's all. There'll be a lot of laughs and a lot of fun and a lot of learning.
Yeah.
Michelle is the queen of shuck and jive, so we're
gonna shuck and jive, and so we're it's like pilot. So we ask for forgiveness in advance if there's any small technical difficulties. But we're our COO. Dave Murray is flying in today to help us with it, and he comes from a decade of news broadcasting. So
don't tell people that.
Sorry,
now the pressure.
Sorry, Dave.
Yeah.
So we can blame Dave if anything
goes squarely on Dave's shoulders. He's delightful, and we hope that sometime during the broadcast we can get him up in front of a screen to say hello, shout out. He's pretty awesome. We love Tommy too. Super excited.
I just want to check in, say good morning, everybody. Looking forward to seeing everybody on Wednesday.
Yeah, it looks like we got a nice in-person group plus a live following. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, I think when I did the count, it was like 11 people will be there, Tommy?
My paperwork's across the
maybe more.
Maybe more, but I mean the people
tons of longtime dealers.
That's it.
That'll be meeting our executive director for NIADA, a few of the past presidents, John DeFilippo, who I'm sure a lot of you know, who posted on here, will be in attendance. So it's going to be awesome.
Excellent.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it. I think that just even for the dealer panel, we've got some pretty good dealers with a lot of experience, and it's going to be a great conversation.
Yeah. So thanks, Tommy. We'll see you in Q-Town shortly.
Fantastic. Have a great day, everybody.
We'll talk to you later. Thanks, Tommy.
Bye.
All righty. Well, that was our plug.
Yeah. Okay, it's good. That gave Jared another couple of minutes to wake up.
There we go.
So Jared's joining us all the way from Pacific time.
Yeah.
So,
Queen Creek, Arizona. Yep. Well,
Yep.
we're Arizona time. We got enough daylight to bottle up and sell out here. So
Nice.
yeah.
That's good.
And it looks like just a couple of days ago, you had enough rain to bottle up and sell out there too.
we had quite the little micro burst miniature tornado that happened out here. We sure did.
Yeah, we're friends on Facebook, and so I was looking at some of the video and pictures, and I was like, "Whoa, that's like not quite a hurricane, but a tornado coming in."
It was something. Came right over the mountain in front of my house and just hit us hard. But everyone's okay, and we will recover, as they say.
That's right.
That's awesome. Well, today we brought Jared in for a couple of reasons.
Yeah. So we initially invited Jared for a White Hat Wednesday because even though his image has
I know what's with the black hat, Jared.
We know Jared's what we would call a white hat dealer, and so he knows what we mean by that. But we also we wanted to have Jared on for lots of reasons, but also we got the event coming up.
Yeah.
At the end of the month here in your state of Arizona, the Southwest Finance Conference, which is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right, Jared?
Next
week.
Is.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the 28th through 30th.
Yep, 28th, 29th, and 30th. And we'll be there. And we actually will also be broadcasting our addresses live as well.
We have 2 on Sunday, I believe. So
yeah.
So that'll be good. We're looking forward to it, Jared. You got a good group showing up for that, sound like?
We do. We've got some great speakers, including the two of you guys, and it's basically all things financed, increasing revenues, finding new revenue streams, streamlining costs. We've got quite a few good topics and good seminars and sessions there that we'll have for all of our dealers that are attending and being our guests.
Yeah, and it's probably not too late. I know that you told us it was a national conference. People can come from anywhere and join. Don't have to be a member of the Arizona Association, correct?
From anywhere, and if you're a member of your state's association, you're going to get the same membership price as you would if you're an Arizona member.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
So I know that you had shared with us, and I think it's a wonderful effort that you guys are putting together to try to help dealers know how to connect all the dots on money, like how to source the money, how to grow their business from the very early stages, all the way to the most advanced needs in terms of growth. So we're going to be contributing to that. Both of our sessions will kind of be around that, one on business planning and one kind of where to find all the sources of money, who's out there and what kind of programs are out there. So we're going to try to do our part to help dealers kind of connect the dots, ABC, how to capitalize their business.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to that. Yeah. It's everything from, like you guys will be there, and from simple things like, indirect lenders. We'll have just about every indirect lender from prime, subprime, and everywhere in between in there, as well as lenders on site that are there to lend capital to buy here, pay here dealers. And there's all different kinds, as you well know, different kinds of lenders when it comes to that, whether you're selling your notes or you're leveraging your portfolio to gain more capital to increase and grow your buy here, pay here portfolio. It's still early here in Arizona. Yes, but yeah, we're very much looking forward to it. We have reinsurance companies that will be there, warranty services, GPSs, insurance. I mean, just about everything you can think of to increase or streamline fixed expenses or increase revenue. We're going to have there for our dealers.
Nice.
Excellent. I know that when we put together this broadcast too, one of the things we talked about is what do dealers need more of? And I would say a lot of times one of the first things that comes up is capital. Yeah, the capital is
especially in today's market with the cost of cars. We all know that has gone up. The quality hasn't gone up, but the price of the cars have gone up. So we're paying more for what we used to pay less for. So it requires more capital.
Yeah. And so I've been saying for many years, Jared, I've even in articles probably for more than 10 years, I've been talking about this thing about, there are a lot of people out there who would like to be in the buy here, pay here space if they had both the capital and the know-how. And obviously, Michelle and I spend a lot of our time in the know-how side of this business. And we just feel like that's an important thing for people to understand. The education piece of that is so important for folks to know how to connect. Like if they want to know, how do I get qualified for a line of credit? Well, there's really a pretty specific sequence. We just need to get folks educated on how to get from here to there. And so we just know education is such a big piece of this.
Absolutely.
It sure is. And of course, having your books in order, having your finances, everything in order is another big one. I would say if you're not watching your money, it doesn't matter what you or any of your best employees are doing. If you don't know what your money's doing for you, you've got a problem right out the get-go. So we're going to have some CPAs and financial experts there as well. If your books are not exactly in the perfect order, or you think you want to have them looked at and see what needs tweaked or fixed or corrected, so that you
Yeah.
can sit down with some of these lenders. We're going to have people there to go over your books with you, or set an appointment to do that at a later time, so you can get your books in order, so that you can go sit down in front of these capital investors and see what the best route is to gain more capital and revenue for your dealership.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
One of the other things that we see an awful lot with some of our clients is that they're looking for, what are your practices for collections? And they want to see detailed,
Well,
this is how we do what we do.
yeah, well, especially if they're lending to somebody who's going to be doing their own collections, then obviously you need to see the performance history and some of those kind of things. So I think when you talk about having your books in order, Jared, I think, for a dealer, they need to understand, okay, what is the definition of in order, right? They need to know there is an order, there is something that we expect to see, and that obviously needs to be, GAP approved and all that good stuff. But I would say beyond that, in our space, and Buy Here Pay Here in particular, there are some idiosyncrasies. There are some things to certainly have some added layers. And so, having that education, having that understanding. Amanda Sanchez just said hello from Houston, and she's doing a session with me at the Super Forum, and we're going to try to help dealers in that session, which we're also broadcasting live, how to help them connect the dots between their performance reports, operational performance reports, to kind of dovetail that into their financials, because we see that's a challenge sometimes too. And ideally, we would have all those numbers would tie together nicely, and dealers could better understand what they're seeing on their reports.
Absolutely.
How to manage.
And I really appreciate, part of what we the intent for what we looked at for the topic today was, in the what do dealers need, and what Jim and I were talking about is that we need more unity. And I love the fact that like with this finance conference, we're bringing all the financial pieces together. We're trying, we're working as a team, whether to how do we better educate everybody, all the dealers, so that they can be able to capital, get the capital that they need. And I love that you're bringing in accountants and all of the pieces that are part of that. And it's Amanda just piped in. She said, how about some standardization? That's kind of the same. That's along the same thing too, is unity within the vendors. And so we're all out for the best interest of the dealer. And so how can we help the dealers? How can we really help the dealers to understand all the pieces that are involved in capital, all the things that you need to have that are put together? And then standardization that's something, Amanda, that we're working on, seeing if we can try to create that within the industry.
Yeah. There have been folks out there working on it. I'm sure, Jared, with your experience on the board with NIADA, you've seen a lot of that. Like, what do you see? How could we help, bring the industry together better?
And being new on the NIADA board, I can tell you with spending the last 8 years on the AIAD board, it's confusing a bunch of letters there, but I think bring us together, and I've seen a big movement in the Buy Here Pay Here industry. Obviously, with the you guys' morning show, we've got Amanda out there. There's a lot of sources where dealers can go to find that information, and to really fine tune and hone their Buy Here Pay Here game, so to speak. Obviously, our conference is one of them, and you guys touched on it a few minutes ago there, Michelle, I believe, is the Buy Here Pay Here Super Forum coming up. That's coming up next month in Texas. That is a must. If you're in the Buy Here Pay Here business, thinking of getting a Buy Here Pay Here business, you've been in it for 10 years, 20 years, or 1 year, that's going to be a show you do not want to miss out on. That's going to be packed full of education, solutions, and just all kinds of things that are going to benefit you. You will leave there going back to your dealership, and I don't care how long you've been in the business, with some change you're going to want to make for the better for your dealership. It's going to be a big one there.
Yeah, we agree that there's a lot of great things happening with NIADA. We've seen a lot of real, positive developments there. They're doing a beautiful job there. And I think we know their exhibit hall is full. That means when you mentioned solutions, there'll be lots of solutions and folks to meet there, and a chance for a dealer in a single room to explore solutions and kind of have a chance to compare, what's a good fit for them. But we just feel like this education piece is so vital. And Michelle and I are really enjoying being able to, share what we have learned and what we're able to say, share from what we witnessed out there in the trenches with dealers. And we're doing the best we can to try to help and get the information in the hands of dealers.
Yeah, and you know the when you talk about the two things that any dealer needs is the capital and the know-how. This finance conference that's coming up it's like a beautiful pairing of both of those things. It's going to be an educational event, and it's going to be bringing all the capital pieces together. So there's you're going to get a good education about capital, about how to leverage the capital, about you know how you do that that connection with your accounting and all of that there too. So that to me is a beautiful representation of what it is that Jim's like he's always said. If you can dial in those two things, it gives dealers the best chance at success.
Sure.
Absolutely. And I think another thing is the taxation. I mean, obviously we all know the Federal Trade Commission has just issued new guidelines. We'll be going over that, but the future of taxation, you know, are you doing it all under one roof? Do you have a related finance company? These are questions you ask. And where are you, at what point is a related finance company necessary for your dealership and feasible financially wise to do so? So we're going to have people there to answer all those questions as well.
Good. Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. Something we have, because Michelle and I work a lot, and I've for 20 years, a big part of my work has been with startup dealers, people that are brand new to buy here, pay here, and so we're used to working with people and trying to connect them to capital in the earliest stages of their business, which is challenging in any business, but especially when you're taking what I have sometimes said in meetings where we're taking perfectly good money and loaning it to people with credit trouble, and so. It's like on the surface, it's hard enough for people that are new to business, but then you add that buy here, pay here element. It's especially challenging, but there are ways to get there. People just need to know how to connect the dots, which buckets are available, at different stages, and how to get from A to B. Like I said.
Excellent. I would like to get to Jared.
Please.
Jared is obviously he's part of the Arizona IADA and the board for NIADA.
Right, Jared?
But Jared, you've been a dealer for quite a while.
I got in this business in roughly 2000, working for my mentor Michael Capri back then, and kind of worked my way all the way through it. I've worked for several different people in this business, and I've had a lot of people along the way take me under their wing and guide me in the right direction. And I've had Double H now for 9 years out here in Queen Creek, going on 10, I believe. And just loving every minute of it. It's always a blessing. We can wake up and do what you love to do. So,
are you doing retail and buy here, pay here out there?
We do retail and buy here, pay here. Yep, and it's especially with today's economy, it's been kind of a hybrid model with the indirect lending. I was full buy here, pay here as much as I could possibly be for as long as I could, and but we get a lot of cash buyers out here as well. We're a very small town community out here, so it's there's only 2 used car dealerships out here and a couple of new car stores. So, yep.
Sure. Anybody toting the note on livestock in your corner of the country? So
right, yeah. I don't know if they're toting the note on livestock out here yet. So
I think it's worth a look. I mean,
I have taken hay on trade before. I took a squeeze of hay as a down payment before. So that's we are Queen Creek out here.
I love it, bartering. That's awesome.
My dealership in Oklahoma was in kind of a rural part of southeast Oklahoma, and so we used to it was kind of a rural clientele, and we also had a lot of fun with that sort of thing.
And so one of the reasons why we brought you on is as a White Hat Way dealer, we know that just from conversations we've had with you that you understand the importance of being customer centric. So just, wondering if you want to give us a little bit of what your philosophies are about connecting with your customer.
I spend a lot of time making sure that we not only set our customers up for success and of course set them up in a vehicle they're going to want to pay for, have the ability to pay for. But we want happy customers, especially in such a small town where reputation is everything, your name is everything. And I was raised with a philosophy that you're born with your name and you die with your name, but you're also born with integrity. Once you lose that, it's gone. You can't get that back. So I live my life that way, and and to say it the best way possible, if I need to, I'll fire a customer. If I just can't make a customer happy, I'm going to buy that car back. I'm going to give them every penny back. It's just not worth the headache and the stress that causes to have an upset customer for something that is just going to continue to be a problem. Right. But we don't have that much. We really connect with our customers on a personal level. We always say when you buy a car from Double H, it sounds cliche, you join the Double H family. And the Double H family is made of kind people with country values, and we take that to heart. And we treat our customers like family, and we set expectations in the beginning of how the relationship works. And because of that, we have an excellent portfolio of customers that we get along with well, and while we have every automated system in the world to have customers pay, we have the majority of them that just like to come down and hang out, make their payment, and see us, which is,
Oh, that's
is a
beautiful.
very neat thing. It's time
Yeah.
consuming, but very fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it's, one of the things that we talk to a lot of the people that we work with is how do you stay, especially in an ACH world, how do you stay connected? How do you stay, how do you keep people so that it's when you see them and they come in to make their last payment, you know who the heck they are. And so, what is it that you've done that you think is it to keep people coming in to make those payments in person?
And to be honest, it's by their choice, because we offer an incentive to set them up with the auto payment, to set up auto payments, so just automatically when they get paid, we get paid. And a lot of our customers just choose to come in the day they get paid. I don't necessarily know it's anything we do except for the way we treat the customers. We have fun. We
Mhm.
get to know them. They know us. And that relationship you build, I think, is just as important as the car you sell them. You want to sell them a quality product, but our goal is not to just get to sell them one car. I mean, there's all too many times, especially in a retail space, you're trying to get as much as you can out of them each time. I'd rather get a little bit out of them each time they think about a car. Every time they're thinking about a car for their daughter, their kid, their neighbor, whatever, we want them to think of us. Last year was kind of a slower year, but we still wrote $5,400 of referral checks. We give $100 per referral to any customer that
Wow.
bought a car from us. So that's a car a week we wrote during a pandemic that we wrote a
That's
check for.
awesome.
And I got to assume that doesn't include all of them, because we do miss some of them. Some people forget to say, oh, hey, Bobby Joe down the road sent me over, or things like that. So when we write checks during a pandemic for, basically $100 a week, that's a car a week we sold just by referrals from previous customers or current customers. And we take pride in that. That's something we're really proud of.
So is that something with your referral program? Is that something that you just like let them know about at closing? Do you communicate that with them through the course of their loan? How do you keep that forefront in people's minds so that they, next time, hey, I've got a friend that needs this, I'm going to send them over there.
That's a great question, Michelle. So not only do we put it out right when we close them, and every time we see them, it's on every single receipt. So whether they pay by phone, pay by text, pay by email, or pay us in person, it's on every single receipt that they get. When they log into their payment portals and make a payment, it pops up on there as well. So it's always right in front of them to remind them, hey, if you think about, if you've had a good experience and you share it with someone else and they come buy a car from us, make sure they let us know that they were referred by you, so that we can get you this $100. And our consumers really love that. And we write them a check for it. It's not something we just take off what they owe us. It's $100 to you. If I hand you $100 and you want to hand it right back towards your car, that's fine. But if you want to take the family to dinner, go do that with it.
Yeah.
It's not a discount off your payment. It's a true $100 value to you. You can go do whatever you
Excellent.
want with it.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, it's
That's
great.
wonderful.
So yeah, I can tell, Jared, we're going to want to bring you to the microphones at the conference if you can find the time while we're broadcasting live out there. I'd love to be able to kind of do an expanded version of this conversation, because I'm not sure how familiar you are with what we're out there sharing on our White Hat Way, but you have already mentioned here,
Oh my
a
gosh.
number of the things that we talk about. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know if you can see it streaming across the bottom of the screen there, but those are kind of the key words that we think about when we talk about what the White Hat Way looks like. And we're doing the best we can to spotlight dealers who operate that way in an effort to show the industry that it's entirely possible to operate that way and have a very long, sustainable business. So we're really thinking, if you're playing the long game and buy here, pay here, we're just trying to say, from a business standpoint, you may or may not agree with the ethics that we're teaching, but from a business standpoint, we're just saying this is good business, especially in a smaller market.
Well, and I am familiar with it. I did read the ones. I think it goes to just about any business you're in. And as far as white hats go, no one can do it better than Jack Carter, so I'll stick with the black hat. He's got that white hat pretty down. That white cowboy hat. So I don't want to infringe on his trademarked white hat. But the ethics behind it and the topics you have there, I'd love to expand on that when you guys are out here in Arizona. And then again, I'll be seeing you guys in Texas just shortly thereafter. I get a double dose of Jim and Michelle.
Nice.
Oh, wow, yeah.
We're looking
That sounds
forward
like
to that.
a lot.
We've got a lot coming up, and it's just a really great opportunity to just spread the word about some of the pieces that we've been really out there talking about with White Hat Way and
Sure.
and the ethics pieces.
Yeah. And I think the other piece of that, as I mentioned, the long game, and you talked about something there that kind of ties into what I would say about the what I call the 10-year approach to customers, which is, when you have a setback, if you're thinking about having this customer on your books for a long time, then it affects the way you approach day-to-day decision making. And when those setbacks come up, or, whether it's a mechanical matter or some sort of late payment situation, when we're thinking about having that customer with us for 10 years, and we're thinking about having them continue to refer friends and family, then probably whatever we're facing today is a pretty small matter in the grand scheme of our business relationship with them.
That's true, Jim, and there's a lot that goes into that. Improving hardship when customers do have a hard time. I mean, a lot of indirect lenders aren't going to care that your kid was in the hospital or things like that, and you want to make sure that your customers aren't taking advantage of you, and that you have a working relationship that's built off honesty and integrity and trust.
Right.
But there are situations where a variance or a little bit of lenience is appropriate to keep that customer for 10 years. And I'm proud to say I've got customers on their 7th, 8th, and 9th car with me now, over the last 9, almost 10 years, and quite a few of them actually on multiple cars with us, that trade in and trade up quite often, or have got to the point where I've got multiple cars in the same family on the books. And that's all built off relationships. It's relationships, and of course, making sure that you're selling a quality product. I mean, not every car is created equal, not every customer is created equal, but you want to match them up the best as possible, to have them in some where you're setting them up for success. If you set them up for failure, either in a car that's going to fail before the term is over, or you're setting them up with a payment that they can't afford, which all too often happens, then you're not setting yourself up for success to retain that customer. And some customers you're not going to retain. We know that. Some customers are ones you go, okay, well, I rolled the dice and I probably shouldn't have done that or retained that customer. But the good ones you don't want to lose. You want to keep those customers. So to keep them coming back, what are the best practices and ways to do that? And again, it comes back to my philosophy: treat them like family. You buy a car from Double H, you join the Double H family, and we'll treat you like family. We've got repair solutions for our customers, insurance solutions for our customers. We've got just about every solution out there that if you're willing to work with us, we're willing to work with you.
Yeah. I think that's a point that doesn't get talked about, that where you just said at the end, it's like, if you're willing to work with us, like I always say, if the customer's willing to do their part, it's not right for the dealer creditor to, have to do, the customer needs to be prepared to meet us part way, do their part. And if they are, then we can bend with them and get through whatever it is. But if the customer expects us to do everything every time, then that's not a very good relationship.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. Yep.
So I think, I think the parts that you're talking about are definitely, in line with what we teach. And I think the parts that you, and the part of the reason I would love to be able to take this to a broader conversation is, you said it yourself when you said about the family thing being cliche. So it's not so much what we say as much as what you do. Like, what would your customers see in your business that would help them know that you mean what you say? You really do, treat them like family. So those are things, we don't have to cover that today, but I just mean that's what we're always trying to help dealers understand is what's your customer experience like? What does it look like to them, to be in a relationship with you and your company? And I used to be able to say, we're in a 3-year relationship with our customer. Now it might be 4 years, and with the higher cost cars, longer contracts. I mean, we got a long relationship that we need to manage and maintain and support the customer through a long period. And I heard you talk about all those solutions, but I just think it's really important to think about, what does it look like from the customer standpoint? We know what we say. What do they really see, in what we do?
Exactly. And I look at it a little different than that, Jim. As you said, 2-year contract is kind of the old norm for us. Now it's 2.5, 3 years, but I look at each customer as a 6 to 9 year contract. I don't want them just for one car. I want to keep upgrading. The only time I'm upset when I lose a good customer is when they've built themselves up so well that they're at the new Audi store getting that car that we're not going to carry here in Queen Creek. If I lose a customer that's built themselves up and has changed their paying method and their mindset on how they're going to take care of themselves and their bills and their credit, you kind of feel like you've helped them better themselves just by teaching them how to pay you on the car.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, you can't drive your cell phone to work, but you can drive that car to work. Teach them how to prioritize their life and do that through the buy here, pay here portion of it. If I lose them they've got great credit, they're going to go to a new car store. Well, I'm sad I lost them, but I'm happy I could have played a part, teach them how to revamp their finances in life. So
yeah, that's a great way to lose a customer. It's a great way to lose a customer.
I got to lose one, that's the way I want to lose
one. Exactly.
So, yeah, for sure.
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you so much, Jared, for joining us today. We are really looking forward to seeing you a couple times. I hope that you are going to try to join us this Wednesday as well for the town hall.
Tune in when you can.
Yeah. And so those of you who we appreciate you joining us. Those of you who have not registered for the town hall, though, please make sure that you go to bhphnationtv.com and get yourself registered, because we know that you're all busy. And this is something that's going to be going live all day from 9 a.m. Eastern to about 3:30 Eastern. And I mean, it's a continual broadcast. If you want to see the recorded pieces after the fact, if you weren't able to sit there and to watch all of the pieces, you need to go to bhphnationtv.com and get yourself registered. That's where all the recordings will live.
It's totally free, thanks to our advertisers.
And thanks to our advertisers.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we're gonna one more thing before we go. Yeah, thanks, George. The tickets are free. One more thing: safeguards rule. Jared, have you done it?
I'm actually going to be doing the Texas version. Texas IADA has offered, for those that don't know, a safeguards program that any dealer that's a member of their association can take at a discounted price. And Texas is actually sharing that revenue with each state's association. We've had a few members of our board do it. We're trying to find the best solution to put out in front of our state members, and we've decided to go with Texas's version of it. So myself and a few other board members will be doing that this week so that we can better speak about it before our convention coming up here. So
excellent. I know that we've been talking about the safeguards rule course from Texas because it's one that a lot of the states are using. It can be used for any dealer in any state, because this is a federal certification. This is you need to do this for the federal government. So that's like nationwide. It's super important. They're expecting it to be done by the beginning of December. So I think it's the 9th. And if you have not done this, you need to and this is a need. Jim's always telling me, it's like, we strongly advise. No, this is a need. You need to make sure you've taken care of this in your dealership. And what they're requiring is that anyone who has access to sensitive information needs to go through some kind of a certification. And you also need to have one person that's like the king or queen of all safeguard stuff at your dealership. So TexasDealerEducation.com is a great place to go, and it's really reasonably priced.
Yeah, TIAD made it affordable and easy to access. And so, it's a great way to get in any corner of the country. You can get that at TexasDealerEducation.com.
Excellent.
Yeah, Michelle, I think you point out a good thing, that whether you sell one car or 1 million cars, it doesn't matter what size your dealership is. This is for every person out there. So
everybody. Yep, exactly. So please, if you are listening to this from the Hawaii, actually, we'll give you a discount if you want us to come do any consulting, but Hawaii or Alaska or any of the continental US, this is something everybody has to do. So please make sure that you've gotten that taken care of. TexasDealerEducation.com. Great place. It's online, and you can do it at any time of the day that you want to do it. So it's not something that you have to put it on your calendar and be there at 1:00 or whatever. So make sure that you get that. Get that certification, and it's time for us to wrap up.
Jared, thanks for starting your coffee pot early this morning and joining us for an early start.
No problem, guys. And guys, I want to thank both of you guys real quick. It's so refreshing to have people like you guys out there within the industry that truly put dealers first, that aren't trying to pitch their product or their agenda or their piece of the business. You guys are out there and you're really helping dealers, and I see it every day. I talk to dealers every day. So for what you guys do for the dealers, from a dealer first, besides all the association stuff, thank you guys for what you do for everyone out there.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah, we're just getting started.
Yeah, we're just getting started.
I know there's a lot to come. I've heard what's coming, and I'm very excited to see where all this goes. So
thank you so much, Jared. All right, everybody, have yourself a great rest of your Monday. It's the beginning of the week. Hopefully we got a great start of the week's going, and we will see you all on Wednesday for the morning show, which is what is going to kick off the first ever Yeah.
Streaming all day from PA.
Streaming all day from PA. We'll talk to y'all later. Have a great day.